The story begins in a small town named Corlinda. The leaders of Yosha and Philagi meet in an attempt to find peace. Philagi raiding parties for some time harried the Yoshans over the disputed territory called the Sword or Suwardi Marches, depending on whose side you were fighting on. Also in attendance at the peace summit were the fabled artificier brothers Urza and Mishra themselves. Urza in the company of the Oceans, and Mishra in consort with the Philagians. For the first time since causing the death of their mentor a half-decade ago, they found themselves face to face, but their antagonism toward one another did not temper with the years that passed. Unbeknownst to Urza, his wife's father, the warlord of Yosha, never intended to craft peace at this summit. With the machines Urza developed, a surprise attack was launched on the Philagi forces. In the struggle, both the leader of the Philagi and Mishra escaped unharmed. The warlord was not so lucky and fell on the battlefield, leaving his daughter, Kayla, as war lady of Yosha in the now escalated conflict. After 2 years, Mishra devised his own scheme, luring Urza the prince out of the Yoshan capital city Krug, and in that time, laying waste to the city in less than a day, using his army of dragon engines, led by Traxos. It is within this storied day of bloodshed that our number 4 card art selection makes her debut. Say hello to Amelia, the Yoshan medic. As the city walls lay at the feet of fighters and civilians pray to their gods for salvation, the war lady Kayla calls on all her military forces to continue defending the city, and her medics to save as many people as they can. Dissimilar to many of Urza's creations, it looks like Amelia is piloting a machine not made explicitly for destruction. Its 4 legs create a stable base and versatile range of motion, able to navigate through the rubble with far better efficiency than other constructs limited to ground travel. It seems like a pretty niche skill set if you ask me though. Why not have it suited for effective travel through muddy conditions on a freshly soaked grass plain, of which Krug was surrounded? Or capable of navigating through a more natural element, like sand, as their years-long enemy, the Philagi, had all their cities on the other side of a little natural barrier called the Great Desert. I'm not trying to imply Urza saw the sack of Krug coming, but if he had, he probably would have built something like this machine to deal with it. Okay, before I get back to the more earnest part of the video, I have to address the elephant in the room. What kind of backward design has all the most valuable cargo haphazardly strapped to the machine without a lick of protection? The large bottles filled with life-saving elixir in the back look like someone wrapped a rope around them a few times and tied them to the machine, while the satchels containing the smaller vials are just hung over the protective head and midsection plating. One misstep, and all these presumptively glass bottles are liable to shatter, leaving Amelia high and dry, needing to return to whatever is left of HQ. We know she will have to return because there are no materials present to make slings for broken bones, tourniquets to stem life-threatening blood loss, bandages or poultices to dress lacerations, or even a saw to amputate limbs when all else fails. Though I suppose Amelia is a religious healer, being a cleric and all, and the other religious healer had these same concoctions as well. Either way, it is the potions that are demanded, and it is straight up bonkers that they are completely exposed. Whew, okay. That needed to be said. Thanks for sticking with me through that. Wait, one last thing on this point. Those potions look absolutely delicious. They remind me of Sunny Delight, and until I'm proven otherwise, I will believe they taste like it as well. But in all seriousness, the focal point of this artwork is Amelia, donning personalized silver steel armor, riding this gray steel construct, but more importantly, the steely resolve and purpose imprinted on Amelia's face. This purpose is not singular though. Of course, she has the immediate task of saving as many people as she can, but that does not only mean physically for the cleric, it also means spiritually. The Yoshans were a polytheistic people and believed they had 7 different souls throughout their lives to be judged by their 7 different gods. Even if the worst of the worst people were lying in agony under the wreckage of the city, their actions in this moment could save one of their souls, and that is what I think is a primary inspiration for Amelia's determination. As selfless as Amelia seems to be, There is also the possible reality that this line of work is a new one. Her old souls created and judged in previous stories of her life were doomed to the seven hells. But in this new life as a cleric, she has found a path to deliverance. She, among many others fighting in Krug this day, may not expect to see the sun set, and every breath drawn, every action they take could be the difference for their fate in the afterlife. I want to talk at the end here a bit about the color scheme in this artwork. Beside the silver and gray steels we talked a little about previously, there is a barrage of warm colors. Rising from the ground in front of Amelia are smoldering ashes from the destruction brought by the dragon engines, representing doom and suffering of the people of Krug. Yet behind her are those tinctures we talked at length about, which are also vibrantly warm in their color. But unlike the ashes, the same color palette signals the exact opposite. These potions represent life, healing, and the blessing of gods. And that is what really brings this artwork towards the top for me. This woman is throwing caution to the wind and stepping into the fires of damnation to bring about holy salvation. Thank you for tuning in. Please like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and leave a comment if you're brave enough. Stay magical, everyone. Soup signing off for now.